Welcome back to another episode of Pans Picks. This is the show where I go through one NFL team's season and decide whether I think they'll win or lose each game. And at the end, we're going to come up with a win total that we can compare against Vegas odds. With me, as always, is a resident arborist, Bill. How are the trees out there, Bill?
They're looking green.
Very good. Very good. Getting enough water. That's good. What team do we have today?
Today we have the Jacksonville Jaguars, 3-14 last season and last in the AFC South. New coach Doug Peterson comes in with a slew of coaching changes for the organization. Under his leadership, he has turned some other quarterbacks into serviceable veterans. Can he help Lawrence make it to the next level?
That's the question we're all going to have. He got Wentz to be pretty good, so I think he can do it. I think he can do it. All right, let's pull up the schedule. Beautiful. Jacksonville Jaguars, Week 1 at Washington. And that's a hot pick. We're starting
right off the bat.
Yeah, we're starting off hot with a hot pick. Why is this a hot pick?
Jumping right into it. Jacksonville is plus 3.5 in this one. Pedersen's Jaguars are matched up against his previous understudy, Carson Wentz, as you mentioned. Jacksonville has not been too bad in the pass defense. They're average. I think that the new coach is an upgrade from Urban Meyer. He still has some tricks up his sleeve for these previous division rivals. I don't think I need the points. I'm taking Jacksonville on the money line.
Ooh.
Right off the bat, he's turning their seasons around.
Yeah, I mean, I do love the Peterson hire. I think things just kind of soured in with the Eagles and Carson Wentz didn't really work. It ended up not working out. But I mean, this man was the head coach of a team that won a Super Bowl just 5 years ago, and he did it in a way that was very innovative, with crazy play calls and everything like that. Philly special, exactly. And it's not like right after that Super Bowl they just fell off the map. They continued to make the playoffs at least for one more year, maybe for 2 more years.
Yeah, they
after that. Yeah. So I think Doug Peterson coming in there it's kind of a win. It's a real win for the Jaguars to be able to pick up a coach that has proven to be really quality. And now with their young quarterback with a lot of potential, that's great. At Washington, I'm going to give him a 50-50 shot. I'm pretty high on the Jaguars this year with the Doug Peterson, and then obviously the potential of someone like Lawrence becoming great. Hosting Indianapolis, and this is a fun matchup. Doug Peterson in the division with his old protege, Frank Reich, who was the offense coordinator when they won the Super Bowl with the Eagles. And they got to play twice this year. This is very exciting. Who's going to know each other better? I'm still going to give it to Indianapolis. I'm still not even going to give them a 50% chance. We're going to go 25% at home against Indianapolis. I think Indianapolis is going to be good. I think Matt Ryan will improve. Moving on, Week 3 at the Chargers. I'm going to give them a 0% chance on this one. I don't think the Jaguars are that good. Sorry to say. But the Chargers, and this is away and everything, maybe at home, could think about a 25%, but I don't think so. Week 4 at Philadelphia. This is a fun one. Wow. Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson's got a revenge tour, or at least some sort of connection tour to start the season where he's going against his ex-coach, ex-offensive coordinator, and he's going up against Carson Wentz, his ex-quarterback, and now at Philadelphia, his ex-team. I'm going to go for a 50-50. And I think that Dougie is going to take it. I think they're going to win because I think Doug Peterson is going to come in with some spice. And I think Josh Allen can hold Jalen Hurts down. What do you think, Bill?
Yeah, I feel like that's a hot pick for Joe Pan.
Yeah.
I had 2.5 on that one. I think Philadelphia is still just a little bit too good of a team for Jacksonville to sneak up on them.
All right. Okay. I hear you, but come on. It's gonna be a good one for me. Week 5 at Houston, or hosting Houston. I'm gonna give them a 75% chance at winning that game. I think Jaguars are superior. I don't think Houston's very good. And it's at home. At Indianapolis, we're going to stick with 25%. We'll keep that rolling. I give them 20% at home. It doesn't go up, but I don't think it goes down. Week 7, hosting the Giants. What's this hot pick about here?
So week 7 versus the Giants, Jacksonville is actually favorite. They're minus 1.5 in this game.
Wow.
Another NFC East matchup for Dougie.
Yeah.
Jaguars are favored. The Giants most likely will be coming off of back-to-back losses. They got a couple tough games in week 5 and 6. As much as it pains me to say, the Jacksonville Jaguars will win that game.
Ooh.
By a field goal. It's going to be close.
Yeah, it's going to be close. I'm going to give it a 50% chance, and I agree with you. The Jacksonville Jaguars will win this game. They will host it, and they will win it. If it's really big, Jacksonville is one player away from, in my mind, they're one player away from a possible playoff team. And it really just all depends on one of the highest rated prospects in football history in which they have in Trevor Lawrence. Doug Peterson is a Super Bowl champion head coach. Josh Allen is a superstar defensive lineman. If they get a Pro Bowl level quarterback play out of Trevor Lawrence, this team can make the playoffs. So that's why a lot of these can just be 50-50s. This is why I've been leaning so hard, because why not? Why not? You got the good coach, got the good lineman, defensive lineman, one of the most important positions on the field. You can see what great players like that do. Josh Allen single-handedly beat the Bills last year. How can he not do that to any of the other teams throughout the whole season? So Trevor Lawrence steps it up. This is going to be a very exciting season for them. Week 8, hosting Denver. We'll do a 2-5. Do a 2-5. Week 9, hosting Las Vegas. We'll keep it at 2-5. Not going to give them a 50. I think Las Vegas is pretty good, and they deserve some respect there. At Kansas City, I'm sorry, we're going to have to stick with a 0 here. It's away. It's Kansas City. They're great. Even without Tyreek Hill, they're just too good. Bye week, week 12, hosting Baltimore. Ooh. We could stick with a 25%. Baltimore's very good. At Detroit, I'm going to give them a 50% chance win, and I think they will win. Yes, I think they will win. Bill, would they win?
Yeah, I also had a 50-50 with the upper hand going to the Jaguars.
Okay, good. I didn't know if they would win. Wow, and their first matchup with Tennessee, week 14, really kicking it down the road. At Tennessee, I am going to give them a 25% chance on winning that game. And then hosting Dallas, I will stick with 25%. See, I'm really seeing, against the really good teams, I keep seeing, like playoff teams last year, I keep feeling Jacksonville is at least a 25, except for the highest tier of teams with great quarterbacks and away games. You know, it takes an away game and a great team, I think, to really be a 100% winner over the Jacksonville Jaguars. At New York Jets, I'm going to give them a 50% chance as well. And I will say that I think they will win, generally. Is that agreed?
Yeah. Also had a 50-50. This one, I mean, end of the season, I don't know which one to pick this. I could see either way. Mm-hmm. This one going. I'd probably take the underdog in this one if I was betting on it, just because. Yeah. And I guess that probably would be Jersey right now.
You think it would be New York over Jacksonville because it's at probably. Jacksonville, or it's at New York. Sorry, at New York, and usually they give them 3. I think it could be Jacksonville could be the underdog on this one, slightly, maybe by a point and a half, 2 points.
This is a Thursday night game, also.
Ooh, this is a game. This is a game that could be very exciting. Obviously, it's 1 versus 2, and that's really cool. And it's 1 versus 2 in season 2, where both of them didn't have a very good first season. So by week 16, we could really see who's going to take the 2020 draft, or the 2021 draft.
It is Jets are favored by 1.5.
Yes. Okay. Yes. All right. At Houston. I'm leaning to a 75 on this one, but it is at Houston, so I'll stick with the 50. But I'm definitely picking the Jaguars in this game. There's no way. So I'm going to stick with the 50% instead. And then week 18, hosting Tennessee. I'm going to go 50%. I think it's a toss-up. It depends on I don't think Tennessee is going to be resting. I think that Tennessee and Indianapolis will be, more neck and neck. I think Indianapolis will actually win the division over Tennessee. But I don't think Tennessee's that good. I think at home the Jaguars can reasonably beat them. I'll probably still pick Tennessee to win, but it's a tight one. I want to give them a 50% chance for sure. Where do you see it? How do you see that one?
Yeah, I actually had 0.25.
Okay.
I think that the Jaguars' defense is considerably better than their running. Their passing defense is better than their rushing defense.
Yeah.
And I think that Henry will just go to town, ground game, and kind of keep them off the field.
All right. Well, we finished the season. Let's see how it marks up against the Vegas odds. Also see Billy's numbers. How did we end up? 5.25. I'm a little higher on the Jaguars than Bill is, and we're both lower on the Jaguars than Las Vegas is. But I'd say it's pretty close. I wouldn't bet this one. I could see them winning 7 games. I'm not uncomfortable with saying I think they would win 7. I think they can beat the Jets, the Lions, the Texans twice. There's 4. They can beat the New York Giants and the Washington Commanders. That's 6. And then, pick a game to steal. Steal one from Tennessee, steal one from Philly, steal one from Indianapolis, Las Vegas maybe. And I could see them getting 7. I could reasonably see them getting 7. They do have a pretty difficult schedule, though, having to play the AFC West and then also Baltimore. But I'm excited about Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence. I think the team can be really good. I think that they can. It's just so funny to talk about these teams because you base it on the idea that Trevor Lawrence will probably improve, but you can't just say, oh, he's going to become a Pro Bowl quarterback. He's going to become, all of a sudden it's going to be Mahomes season 1 to season 2 type of Mahomes, You can't just say that that's going to happen, even though it feels like it's been happening a lot lately. Josh Allen jumps huge. Patrick Mahomes jumps big. Lamar Jackson even jumps big. All these quarterbacks jump from, or Kyler Murray as well. So, it can happen. Him or Zach Wilson, these Jets and Jaguars are exciting teams to talk about. But this is kind of implying that he just gets a reasonable amount better. But if he jumps out and passes for 4,500 yards and 30-plus touchdowns and keeps his interceptions, below 12, this team could all of a sudden be 9 wins, 10 wins, considering that they could beat Houston and they could beat Detroit, New York, Philly, possibly the Giants, Washington, maybe steal one from Indianapolis and steal one from Tennessee. It's an exciting time to be a Jaguars fan as well, I think. But I don't think this is going to be it. But I think possibly towards the end of the season, they could win the final 3 games in my mind, and they could be getting ready to gear up big for next year with Trevor Lawrence being a good player, a great player possibly. He obviously has the talent to do so. How do you want to wrap this up, Bill? How do you see them?
Yeah, I think that it's going to be hard for them to get to 6 wins. The team definitely looks like an upgrade. They're trending in the right direction. They definitely should beat last year with only 3 wins. They're still going to be in the bottom of the division. So they got Evan Ingram, personal grudge, but he tends to give up on routes and games at the end of the season if it's not going their way. So I'd be leery of that down the stretch. But overall, it's a good outlook for the Jaguars. I think it's going to take one extra year though. Even out some of those wrinkles, iron them out, and Doug should have that team in tip-top shape for the second season for his tenure.
Yeah, I agree that the odds are not in their favor to pull it out this year, but a good quarterback season can make a team, can add 3-4 wins to a team's record. But they definitely have the right pieces in place. A few of the most important positions, two of them they're very good, and one of them has very high potential. So it's an exciting time to be a Jaguars fan next year. Maybe this year not too exciting, but I would be hopeful as a Jaguars fan and not hating on it or feeling down. But if you are a Jaguars fan and you are feeling down, or you're anyone else who just feels down on the Jaguars, or maybe you feel really high on the Jaguars and you think they're going to win the AFC South. AFC South can be considered weak, so maybe. I don't know. Let us know in the comments. You tell me what your outcome is. You go through. You rank the teams 0 to 100% between 25, 50, and 75. And 100% of you definitely think they're going to win. And see what your win total is and compare it with mine and tell me how wrong or right or just slightly disagreeing with me you are. And make sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.